just like the poor person is bound to being poor, the rich person is bound to being rich. Every day the poor person has to struggle. How am I going to eat? What am I going to do? How am I going to pay my bills? What is my child going to do or not do? What do you think the rich does? The same. What am I going to do with this money? Where am I going to put this money? What am I going to do with this money? This one wants this one wants that. Now I'd like to create a new project so I can become greater and become more rich. And then I want to go see that person. Once, I don't remember where I was, maybe at the barber. I don't remember the exact context. And I'm watching these, I don't even know what it is. I don't have TV, so I don't remember the context. But watching these rich people with their boats. I'm not talking about like a little yacht. I'm talking like fucking boats, like these supreme boats. And the person's buying a boat and what they're doing to the boat. And then they're interviewing them. And they're kind of, they're like little Care Bears, a little honest. And I want to invite people and show my boat. And it's a statement of status and power and luxury. And I'm like, I don't even know how. Yeah, and then they go to the boat convention with all the Emiratis, and I'm like, I don't know how you like. And then there's like the people who design the boats on the inside, and I'm like, wow, that's boring as fuck. Like, you want me to care about the drapery in my boat so that I can show that person that my boat is amazing? I don't like. Shoot me. I think I'd rather be poor. Like, genuinely, I think I'd rather be broke than have to go and be in that energy and in that mindset and then have to cater to people's opinion about my boats and my homes and my hair. I'm just like, I don't know how they do it. So all this to say, so what's the difference between rich people and poor people besides they're at both sides of the spectrum? They're totally absorbed with their issue. One is absorbed with his issue with no money. The other one is absorbed with his issue with money. The solution isn't there. The person who's lacking drug is tripping like a motherfucker. What am I going to do? How am I going to find and the person who's got his drug and has got as much drug as he wants, he's like shooting it non-stop. That's what happens to rock and roll bands, at least back in the days. Once they're rich, they get their mansions, like Aerosmith did that, and they just fucking shoot it up non-stop for months at a time until, like, I don't know, somebody comes and saves them. So what's the difference between the poor junkie and the rich junkie, except that the poor junkie is always on the hustle to try to find a little bit of dose? So he's always on the anxiety of, that's a high. Imagine you can't get your drug and he's looking for a drug all day. And the rich guy is like, he's got so much drug, he's got so much of it, he's just shooting it up all the time, he can barely breathe. They're both junkies. They're both caught. And they're both running away from the same thing. So what does money have to do with, quote unquote, finding the solution? Zero. I'm not saying that a rich person may not have a sensitive aspect and be calling for a deeper answer, but has nothing to do with richness. You could be a poor person, middle class person, upper middle class, lower middle class, highest level. What does that mean? That's a human being aspect. These questions came to me. These existential questions or queries came to me while I'm living in the suburbs, walking with $220 Air Jordans at the age of 14. So I'm not missing anything. But my mind, my inner being is looking for something else. So that opening has nothing to do with status. It can happen to you if you're living in the hardest situation or the quote unquote best of situations. Money ain't got nothing to do with that. Life puts you in the circumstances that's required for you to get a slap in your face. I don't know. Anyways.